Not everyone will understand what you feel. This series is not for just anyone. It's for the chosen, a rare, sensitive, and deep group. People who, even in silence, feel they carry something different inside. Something that didn't come from the world. Something that came from God. If this touches your heart, then you're in the right place. The signs we're about to reveal here are not visible to ordinary eyes. They are spiritual, often subtle, but deeply real. Only a small portion of the chosen, about 3%, are able to clearly perceive these signs, not because they're better, but because they've been awakened. They are alert. They were marked for something that goes beyond what is visible. You'll discover that some experiences that seemed random are actually proof that there's a plan over your life. Every pain, every discomfort, every moment of silence is part of a process. God has not forgotten you. He is shaping, teaching, and preparing. And now, it's time to recognize the signs He left on your path. If you feel that this message is speaking to something deep inside you, come along with me on this journey. Let's walk side by side, revealing each of the 11 signs of the 144,000 transformed. I'm George, and I'm here to share what heaven has poured into my heart. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave a "I am a chosen one" in the comments. This series was made for you. The calling of the chosen. Today, I'm not speaking to everyone. I'm speaking to a very specific group that the Bible calls the chosen. These are the ones who carry within themselves an eternal purpose, something that was already written even before they were born. In the Word of God in Jeremiah 1:5, it is written, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Before you were born I set you apart." This is not just poetry. It is a reminder that there are people who have been marked from the beginning, called to live something different. And this message was prepared for them. Maybe you felt like you don't fit in, that there's always resistance against you, that life seems to test you more than others. Or maybe you've noticed that certain spiritual things stir something in you, in ways they don't in most people. These might be clues, signs that you carry within you the mark of the living God. But pay attention. This content is not for the curious, not for those who came here just out of interest, or looking for quick and shallow answers. If you don't feel a connection to what I'm about to say, this message might not be for you. And that's okay. But if something inside you burns when you hear these words, if your heart beats faster, if you feel that somehow I'm speaking directly to you, then listen to this entire series, because there are revelations here that only those who are chosen will be able to understand. Throughout this journey, I will reveal signs that point to who the 144,000 mentioned in the scriptures are. Signs that are not obvious, but that repeat in the lives of those who have been set apart for a greater purpose. These signs are spiritual, often invisible to the world, but clear to those who carry the seal of God. The invisible battle of the chosen. And look, I need to warn you. If you are one of the chosen, don't expect things to be easy. The Bible reminds us in Ephesians 6:12 that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the spiritual forces of evil. That means if you feel like life is a constant battle, it's because there is something in you that disturbs the kingdom of darkness. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next chapters. I will show you one by one the 10 secret signs that reveal the identity of the chosen. And if you pay attention, it may be that today you discover that you were never alone, that there is a purpose for every tear, every battle, and every victory in your life. But take it easy. We're going step by step because every detail matters. Today, I just want you to know, this is not just another YouTube video. It's a calling, a summons, for those who have already been marked from the beginning. So prepare your heart, open your ears, because from now on, we're going to walk a path that only the chosen can follow. Before we continue, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any chapter in this series. And write here in the comments a declaration of faith. I am a chosen one. This will strengthen our community and show that you are walking with us. Now that you understand who this message is for, let's dive into the first big topic: the divine identity of the chosen. The divine identity of the chosen. Many people live their entire lives without ever discovering who they really are. They grow up trying to fit into patterns, accept labels that don't match their soul, and end up getting lost in what others say. But with the chosen, it's different. They carry an origin that does not come from this world, but from a divine plan. Jeremiah 1:5 says that God chose us even before we were born. That shows that the identity of the chosen doesn't begin at birth, nor does it depend on achievements or anyone's approval. Even before you existed, you already had a defined place in God's heart. That gives meaning to many things that once felt confusing. The identity of the chosen is not shaped only by the environment where they grew up, or by the wounds they carry. There is something much deeper at work. Inside them is an invisible mark that separates, directs, and cannot be erased. Not even during the hardest phases of life. Many chosen people feel from a young age that they don't quite belong where they are. Even surrounded by people, they carry a sense of being out of place. It's as if something is calling them to a different kind of life, a path that doesn't always make sense to others. Maybe you've tried to fit into environments where everyone else seemed comfortable, but you couldn't. That's not weakness. It's a sign. Your heart was made for a different kind of mission. The way you feel, think, and respond already shows that you carry a different frequency. Not better, just more sensitive to the spiritual. To be chosen is to carry within you an identity that the world cannot label. And when you begin to accept that, everything changes. Doubts turn into clarity. Emptiness is filled with purpose. And your journey is no longer about finding a place. It becomes about living who you really are. The restlessness and the inner calling. The chosen carry a restlessness that is hard to explain. While many live comfortably with ready-made answers, the chosen feel like something is missing. Nothing is enough if it doesn't carry meaning. The soul always seems to be searching. That search is, in truth, a calling. A divine reminder that there is something more waiting for you. This restlessness shows up as questions that don't go away. Why this? What's the purpose of all this? There is a deep desire to understand the meaning behind things. That's not a sign of confusion. It's a sign of sensitivity. The heart of the chosen refuses to live on autopilot. It needs meaning, even in the pain. Another common trait is sensitivity to injustice. The chosen cannot ignore what is wrong. It could be a small act or something bigger, but they always react somehow. You may have lost opportunities because you refuse to accept what violates the truth. And even when you stay silent, something inside still hurts. This happens because there's a spiritual compass within. It doesn't let you get used to what displeases God. Even when you try to go with the flow, something tightens. Something says, "This is not your path." That discomfort is part of your identity. It won't let you forget who you are, even when everything else tries to make you forget. The chosen also stumble. They make mistakes, fall, go off course. But they always come back. There's always a moment when awareness awakens, and the heart chooses to start again. This doesn't happen out of guilt or fear, but because there's an inner voice, firm and loving, that never stops calling. It's not religion forcing it. It's not external pressure. It's a gentle, persistent presence that reminds you, you are different. You were set apart. You have a purpose. When this calling echoes inside, everything changes. Restlessness becomes direction. Pain becomes growth. And what once seemed confusing starts to make sense. Unique and irreplaceable purpose. Every chosen one carries within themselves a mission that only they can fulfill. No matter how confusing everything seems now, that purpose is alive, waiting for the right moment to bloom. God didn't call you by accident. There's something placed in you that can't be transferred to anyone else. Comparing yourself to others only creates frustration. When you try to follow the pace of those who don't carry the same calling, everything feels off. That happens because your path was designed with different measures. What fits others may not fit you, and that's okay. What you carry is rare, and the rare never fits easily. Your story holds details only you understand. Silent battles, hidden dreams, pains no one else saw. All of that is connected to the purpose that only you can fulfill. Nothing was in vain. Not the stumbles, not the new beginnings. Everything is being used to prepare you for something eternal. The most beautiful part is knowing that this purpose doesn't require perfection. It requires surrender. It's about saying yes, even without understanding everything. It's about continuing even without applause. It's trusting that God knows exactly what He's doing. You were chosen because He saw something real in you. This calling isn't about doing grand things in the eyes of people. It's about living with intention, loving deeply, bringing light where there is darkness, and doing all of that in the way only you can do, because no one else has your heart, your story, or your mission. The first sign, separation. One of the first signs of someone who is chosen is the constant feeling of being different. No matter where you are, it always seems like there's a kind of distance between you and the world around you. Sometimes, even you don't understand the reason, but you know something inside doesn't fit in with the ordinary. From a young age, many chosen people realize that shallow conversations don't satisfy. While others have fun easily, you observe more, feel more. There's a sensitivity in you that's not easy to explain. That's not weakness, it's a sign. A reminder that your soul came with a different purpose. Jesus said that His own were not of this world, and that applies here. Living with this seal means carrying a different frequency. You may be surrounded by people, but often feel alone. Not because you are, but because your view of life is not the same as most. That sign can be painful at times. You want to fit in, to be like others, to not feel so much. But when you understand that this separation is divine, everything changes. You begin to see that this not belonging is actually the beginning of a purposeful path. Separation doesn't mean rejection, it means direction. God is guiding you towards something that requires sensitivity, depth, and courage. And for that, He needs to pull you away from everything that steals your essence. That first sign is not the end. It's the beginning of a story written with purpose, trials, and commitment to truth. Some people live with the feeling that everything works out for others, just not for them. If you've ever felt that way, know that you're not alone. The chosen face more intense battles, not because they're weak, but because they're being shaped. Every challenge you go through holds a greater purpose behind it. The feeling of repeating the same struggles can be exhausting. Sometimes it seems like you win one battle, only for another to begin. That's not punishment, it's preparation. God uses those situations to strengthen your roots. While others grow easily, you are growing deep. And it's that depth that sustains the chosen. Another important sign is the commitment to truth. Even when it would be easier to pretend, the chosen feel an inner discomfort that won't let them. They can't live in peace where there is dishonesty. Peace only exists when they are aligned with what is true. This commitment is costly, but worth it. Many have lost friendships, opportunities, even important relationships by refusing to go along with what they knew was wrong. Those losses hurt, but they also reveal the strength of your essence. What you carry won't let you live for appearances. You were made to live with purpose, not to please the world. Inside you is a spiritual compass. Even if everyone goes one way, if that's not your path, something will block it. It will bother you, and that's a gift, because that sensitivity protects your mission. The chosen aren't perfect, but they are guided by truth, and that makes all the difference. Fruits, gifts, and inner guidance. The heart of the chosen is naturally inclined toward goodness. They help without thinking twice, even if no one notices. They don't do it for interest or recognition. They do it because they feel it. Because inside them, there is a compassion that cannot be learned, but that is born together with the calling. It's as if it's in the blood. This care for others is the result of a connection with the heart of God. The chosen feel the pain of others as if it were their own. Many times, they get involved in situations they didn't need to, but something drives them to make a difference. And even tired, they keep going, because they know they are doing what must be done. These gifts don't need to be announced or shown off. They flow naturally, effortlessly. They are answers that come from within, even when you hadn't planned anything. This shows that God dwells in you in quiet but powerful ways. And the more you surrender, the more He reveals what He has placed inside you. Another striking sign is that inner voice that warns you. You know that feeling that something is wrong, even when everything seems fine. It's the Spirit giving you direction, an invisible brake that stops impulsive decisions. That quiet guidance has already saved you from many paths that looked good, but would have pulled you away from your purpose. Being chosen is living with this spiritual sensitivity. It's noticing signs that others ignore. It's being guided, even when everything is dark. God speaks in many ways, and one of the strongest is through the heart. When you listen and obey, your walk becomes lighter and full of meaning. Purpose, attacks, and losses. Those who are set apart by God attract resistance. It's not about merit, but about purpose. The enemy isn't concerned with those who are standing still, but those who carry light make the darkness uncomfortable. The attacks come not because you are weak, but because there is something in you that threatens the shadows. And this needs to be understood with maturity. Another difficult point is the losses. Important people leave, bonds break, support disappears, and all of it seems to happen right when you need it the most. But these losses don't come to destroy you. They come to purify, to show you that your strength doesn't depend on anyone, but on God who sustains you. The pain of being alone teaches a lot. You discover who you are when everything falls apart. You learn to depend on the invisible, to walk by faith. And it is in that process that character is shaped. God removes the excess, pulls out what delays you, and makes you walk lighter. He never wastes a loss. There is also opposition inside the faith environment itself. Many times, those who should support you are the ones who judge the most. You may be misunderstood, rejected, even accused of things you didn't do. That hurts more than outside attacks. But it also shows that you are walking against the system. Light bothers those who live in the shadows, and the chosen carry that light, even without realizing it. That's why they face silent resistance, strange looks, closed doors. But each opposition is confirmation. If the battle is great, The calling is greater, and God does not abandon those He Himself set apart. The seal of supernatural peace. There is a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Even when everything seems to fall apart, the heart remains steady. This peace doesn't come from human effort or peaceful moments. It comes from God. It's a quiet certainty that, despite the pain, everything is under control. The chosen feel this peace when they need it most. It comes in moments when you have no answers, when prayers seem unanswered and the doors remain closed. Even so, something inside you says, keep going, and you keep going. That calm doesn't come from the outside. It is the very Spirit of God holding you when your strength is gone. To keep that peace alive, the soul needs nourishment. Prayer doesn't need to be long, but it must be sincere. Reading the Word calms the mind and aligns the heart. Fasting helps silence the inner noise. And communion with others who believe renews faith on hard days. That peace is like a seal. It confirms that, despite the battles, the purpose is still standing. It doesn't depend on visible victories, but on God's constant presence along your path. Whoever feels this peace, even in chaos, understands they are exactly where they are meant to be. The world may not understand how you still smile, still believe, still keep going. But it's that peace that shows there is a greater force guiding your steps. And when everything passes, it will be the testimony that you were not sustained by circumstances, but by the presence of God in your life. The 10 revealed signs and the final calling. We've reached the moment to clearly recognize the signs. They don't all show up at once, but they repeat throughout the journey. Separation, trials, commitment to truth, compassion, spiritual gifts, inner guidance, attacks, losses, rejection, and finally, supernatural peace. These are deep, silent marks, but visible to those who live with sensitivity and discernment. These signs don't make the chosen better. They make them set apart with a mission. Each mark, each detail, shows that there is a purpose beyond circumstances. The chosen are not perfect, but they are guided. And this path, even if difficult, is full of meaning when seen through the eyes of faith. There is a real strength sustaining them from within. To honor this calling is to live with awareness. It's knowing that you carry something special, and that something needs to be used to serve, help, and transform. You don't need to be great in the eyes of the world, you need to be true before God. That's what sustains you, even when nothing makes sense. Even on cloudy days, the calling remains. If you identified with these signs, know this: you are not alone. Others are walking at the same pace, feeling the same pains, carrying the same seal. And this journey, though quiet, has been powerful. Because every step, even without applause, is being counted by God. Nothing goes unnoticed in the Father's eyes. The answer to your questions is not outside, it's within. It's in that calling that burns in your chest even on the hardest days. Don't ignore it anymore. God marked you a long time ago, and now it's time to live what only you were called to live. The world needs what you carry, and heaven is with you. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you recognized the truth of these words. The 11 signs weren't just a list. They are mirrors, spiritual windows that reveal what many feel but can't explain. They are marks that don't come from religion or logic, but from the eternity that dwells in your heart. Many times the walk of the chosen is lonely. Not everyone understands, not everyone supports, and sometimes even you don't fully comprehend it all. But even in the midst of confusion, pain, and silence, one thing remains firm: the calling of God. It doesn't change. It doesn't go back. He doesn't make mistakes when He chooses someone. These signs are like reminders. In each one of them, God is saying, I'm still here. He saw every tear, every silent effort, every battle fought in secret. He saw when you wanted to give up, but chose to keep going. And that's why you're being lifted up now. Not because of merit, but because of grace. Because your wounded faithfulness touched the heart of God. You were set apart, not to be better than others, but to serve with more depth, to love with more truth, to shine even in dark places. Your life carries weight in the spiritual world. Every choice you make, every yes, every no, every step of faith has an impact far beyond what you can see. Don't let the battles erase who you are. Don't allow rejection to silence your essence. You're not here by chance. You are part of the few who can see the signs. Only 3% perceive them clearly. And if you are among them, it's because heaven is counting on you. The journey goes on, and every time you recognize a sign, a part of your purpose is revealed. Stay firm. Stay sensitive. God is shaping you for greater things. And even if you feel small, remember, the greatest miracles are born from silent obedience. I'm George, and it was a great honor to walk with you this far. If this message spoke to you in any way, comment below which of the 11 signs touched your heart the most. Your response might strengthen someone else who's also discovering they are one of the chosen. We're in this together. You are not alone.